Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Neena Gulabani, early childhood education expert and consultant. Even though I have 30 long years of professional work experience, of which I have been a social development expert, I have worked as an educator in the university, and my last 20 years were super significant. I founded Anubhav Learning Center, an early childhood education center, and we were able to raise very, very fine individuals. These children today are in high school and in college, and they have validated the humanistic education philosophy, which I am been practicing and I want to propagate to as many institutions, to as many educators and parents as I can. Even today, India's global ranking in the early childhood education center is very, very poor. We are globally among lowest amongst the countries across the world when it comes to early childhood education. Now, what are the key problem areas? The first being that there is real lack of awareness as to the importance of early years. Forget about the education. What are the importance of the early years? People are not very well aware of. A lot of awareness is now coming about with the national education policy, but it still remains a very neglected sector. The second, because of the lack of awareness of the importance of early years, there is also lack of opportunity in terms of the good centers, the quality centers offering early childhood education and care to children across the country. So, dear friends, today I would like to focus on the importance of the early years of a child. A woman went to a sage and she asked the sage that what is the best age to start educating my child? The sage asked this mother, how old is your child? And the mother said, well, my child is now 1 year. So the sage said, well, you are already delayed by 1 year and 9 months. And she was taken aback. The point the sage was trying to make and impress upon this mother was that the learning begins when the child is in the mother's womb. What a mother is thinking, how is she behaving, what is she doing, how are her emotions, all that is a learning experience for that unborn child in the mother's womb. So, my dear friends, there is no age that you can start education. So maybe we are confusing education with studies, right? So at early years is a time when our brain is developing at a very fast rate. Okay, by the time the child turns 7, about 80 to 90% of the brain development takes place. Now, it is so very important as to what we give to the child, the kind of environment we give to the child, what are the seeds that we sow in the child's mind. It's like a brain is like a network, right? So this network is growing very fast. Now, what does it require for the network to grow and for the brain to develop? Is good stimulus, is a good learning environment. Now, I want to clarify here that a learning environment essentially is not only knowledge, right? It is what they hear, what they see, how they experience different relationships with human beings in their environment, relationships with nature, relationship with animals, birds, with material things, right? So all these experiences put together create a wonderful foundation. So I always say that a child's brain is like a fertile land, and the seeds that we sow of knowledge, experiences, behavior, and whatever stimulus we give them, these are the seeds that we give it to them. And who is the farmer? The parents, educators, and all the adults in a child's environment are actually like the farmers. So this farmer, which primarily is maybe a parent and an educator, needs to very, very carefully select the seed that needs to be sown in this fertile land. So we not only select the seed, we also nurture this seed. So we select the seed, we sow the seed, and we nurture the seed. So that is the investment that we make in the early years. So once this investment is made and we are able to give a great direction to the brain development, it's not only loading it with a lot of knowledge. We show them a lot of pictures, we show them a lot of things. It's not about just knowledge, right? So many a times we also confuse education and learning with simply as knowledge. But the way we get that knowledge, the way a child is engaged in different activities, the way we behave with the child is all put together the experiences. So, having said that the brain develops to almost 80 to 90% during these years. So let me first help you understand. Now, brain is like a hardware, right? So, and what is the software in the brain is the mind. Now, mind has two parts, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now, subconscious mind is 90% of our mind, and 10% of it is the conscious mind. Now 90% of this subconscious mind develops only during the first 7 years. The child doesn't have the conscious mind, right? So they are not able to logically decide things. So it is the creative band, it's the innovative band, it's the experimental band that we need to develop. How much they can absorb, they assimilate. We also say that child's brain is, like I said, fertile land. It is also like a sponge. So how much ever you want to put in the sponge, it has a great absorption capacity. And when you squeeze it in the later years, all that is going to be coming out when the appropriate time comes. So if we have to build human capital, we have to focus on the early years of learning. So it brings to the point of two things: the content. So what is it that we give it to the child, and how do we give this content, right? So the subconscious mind of 90% has to be beautifully filled in and programmed during the first 6 to 7 years of the child. So now do you understand that how important these first few years? We are waiting and deciding which in university, which college, what profession my child would take, but we lose out on the early years. And there's this big myth, especially in India, that the child is too small to learn. The child is too small to go to a school. It's, again, I'm repeating, it's not about knowledge, it's about the experiences. So, my dear friends, let us pull up our socks, and whosoever child we see in our environment, whether they are directly related or not, please take this message to anyone and everyone that early years are important. Let us not miss out on any child during the early years and create a beautiful foundation for the future generations and put in this is the best investment for our human capital. The kind of human capital we need 20 years, 30 years later, we need to invest that and sow that seed today. So thank you very much for being patient listeners. And I repeat, I'm Dr. Neena Gulabani, your early childhood education coach. My mobile number is 9810245400. I repeat, 9810245400. You can WhatsApp to me, reach me on WhatsApp, call me. You can also mail to me on ngulabani2003 @gmail.com. Now, at the age of 60, it's my mission to take early childhood education to the nook and corner of the globe. So please help me in my mission. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.